Welcome back inside the No Morning Show, and I have him smiling from ear to ear already, ladies and gentlemen, because I know he didn't expect to hear that one this morning. Mr.
At
Errol
all.
Fabien is here with us inside the No Morning Show. Good morning, Uncle Errol.
Just right, just right. Love ups morning. How are you doing, my brother?
So far, so good, you know. We want to find
Excellent.
out this morning. We've been
Uh,
discussing the creative sector and the impact that the
mhm.
pandemic has had on it. And I mean, you are a man that play many roles inside this sector. You know, you're a part of the business side of it, you're a part of the on stage performance side of it as well. And I'm curious as to how it has affected both sides of it for you, because I mean, obviously, nobody's performing. We
Right.
haven't had any opportunities to get gigs and stuff like that. And for that part of it, I'm curious as to, on a regular basis, on a normal year, approximately how often would you fly out in and out of the country to perform?
About 20 times, 25 times.
Okay. And of course, in the last year, you have not had that opportunity.
No, I have not. I fly off the handle a couple of times, but I didn't need my passport for any of it.
You did not need your passport for that, nor did you need a vaccine for that, actually.
At
Um,
all, I did.
but now we see that there's an opportunity for the creative sector to be able to get back moving based on getting vaccines and the opportunity to fly out. How do you feel about that?
I think that's very, very encouraging because the destinations that require you to have a vaccine, you'll be prioritized for the vaccine, and it means you could move and go and earn. And that's a big thing for anybody in any sector
Mm-hmm.
because it has been devastating for me, particularly both on and off stage with respect to the protocols that had to be adhered to based on
Mm-hmm.
the pandemic.
You said it's been devastating off stage as well. Tell me
Yes,
a
it
little bit
has
more
been.
about that.
Well, people have not been earning in any sector, so spending has not been happening. So
Right.
money has not been moving around. The economy kind of grind to almost stop, almost
Mm-hmm.
stand still. So
Mm-hmm.
on and off stage, it's been rather difficult. It's been about trying to find new ways to get things done and to live. Um, I kind of grabbed it as an opportunity. I created a space at home to make it into a studio that different people use now from time to time for streaming, for
Mm-hmm.
recording things. I invested in Nikki, Myron, Penny, and Cecilia recently, and
Okay.
those four girls are doing well. Those are four laying chickens I bought, and I named them Nikki, Penny, Myron, and Cecilia. They're growing well. Soon I'll be able to produce my own eggs here. It's
You
going good.
just no wait, hold on. You seriously just you buy chickens?
Yeah,
Or you and you
four
that's what you
leg
name
on,
them? But
four
that's what you
leg on chickens.
why
Yeah.
you name them that?
Well, those girls I've been able to depend on them for a long time, so
Oh, okay.
hey, it was
Uh,
a no-brainer.
I don't even with you, no. But on a real though, do you think that the ability to travel, what percentage of the sector do you think is going to be able to benefit?
Um, I think the headliners immediately because I think people want the headliners out there to bring the crowds back, to
Mm-hmm.
encourage the crowds to come back. But I don't know that the crowds will be coming back in a hurry. People have a lot of hesitancy, whether they're vaccinated or not. People
Mm-hmm.
have hesitancy. I myself don't have it, but I know the headliners will be the ones to travel first because they will draw the people. And
Oh,
once that starts happening, then they will start looking at the other acts and bringing them to make the shows that they used to be.
right. So that's from a performance perspective, right? But you're a man, you've been dealing with more than just the performance perspective of it, because you know we
Mhm.
have a sector that needs people like wire benders, we need painters, we need a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah.
How do you think those people benefit from being able to get vaccinated and travel? Would they get work outside as well?
Well, yes, once the carnival starts,
Mm-hmm.
there's a demand for talent out of Trinidad and Tobago to do the trucks, adjust their transmissions or the gearboxes so they can work as carnival trucks on the road. The mask makers, the wire benders, as you refer to also, our DJs fuel a lot of the music out there for the carnivals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so all the people, once the once the machinery gets going, but it's going to take a little while. I mean, the first cruise ship only came to the Caribbean in 15 months on Sunday and docked in Barbados,
Yeah.
30% occupancy. But the machinery is starting to move.
So it's a start, is what we say.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's a nice positive outlook that we have in about it. No
yeah.
problem. In terms of theater, because you're also involved in theater, you do acting and whatnot. Um, I'm curious as to when do you think that is going to be able to get rolling again? Because in Trinidad, I mean, realistically, theater is extremely expensive to be able to carry abroad.
Mhm.
We know that, right? So if it is
Yes.
that we are trying to get things up and running again in Trinidad and Tobago, how do we do that? Do you think the vaccination is one way or how?
Well, I myself don't hold a lot of hope via the vaccine, but I think the people, you see, theater in Trinidad have a big pull.
Mm-hmm.
And once the producers and the actors get together and mount something, I think people will start coming. Is what the venues are going to do. Are the
Mm-hmm.
venues going to give discounted rental so that we can get the sector going again? Because most of the venues are state owned.
Right.
Um, or are they going to keep that high rental, and we will have to have reduced capacity sitting anyway. Even when they're vaccinated, there'll
Mm-hmm.
be reduced capacity for a while. And so I think some of the productions will have to run for longer to get the number of butts in the seats. And therefore, we need some sort of concession with respect to acquiring the space
Right.
from the owners of the spaces to get that moving again.
All right, but let me be realistic. Even if you, I mean, the space is already at 50% discounted rate,
Right.
right? They have been put at that since they kind of opened back
Mm-hmm.
earlier this year. However, is that really one of the major costs in terms of putting on a theater production? Because you're still going to have to pay the actors for every night that they work. You're still going to
Yeah,
have to
but
pay the stage, the lights, the sound, everybody for every night that they work.
all these people we can talk with respect to revenue. If the
Right.
play making everybody eat a food, but the venue, when they give you a price, whether they make or you make, you
Their
know.
price is their price.
So we could work with the lights man, the song man, the actors, the stage crew. We could work with costume. We could work with everybody,
Mm-hmm.
because we all together in the sector. So we're going to
Mm-hmm.
work with each other to get things rolling again. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so I think if we get a further concession on spaces, it will go along with encourage producers to take the chance.
So you want further concession more than the 50% reduction
Yeah,
already?
yeah, 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 yeah,
How,
yeah,
how
yeah,
much
yeah.
you thinking? How
I
much you
mean,
thinking?
after all, Rockers, the spaces belong to us. They belong to the people of Trinidad and Tobago,
Right.
and the state has itself taken a bit of a hit with respect to revenues,
Right.
but they're still spending in different ways, and I think if those spaces are not seen as revenue earning spaces for a 3-year period or 5-year period in the interest of getting such a valuable sector moving, it's a
Mm-hmm.
very worthwhile investment.
Do you feel as though they see it as a valuable sector, the government? Do you get that impression?
Well, there has not been evidence over
Right.
the years that the state, any of the administration so far, have seen the entertainment sector as the new energy sector in this country. They have not. They haven't proven that to me.
Well, yeah, I think we also have to prove it to them in terms of being able to quantify how much income is generated, how much economic activity is generated from each of these different facets of the sector. But Errol, I'm going to have to leave it there for now. I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning and
I
for
have to go
sharing
and
your
feed the
input.
girls now.
Go and feed the chickens and them.
I'm
Enjoy the
going
rest
to
of
feed
your
the
day, sir.
girls. All right.
We
Bless up
take a
and
quick
love up.
break. Yeah, man, every time. We take a quick break and
Take
come
care.
back with more inside the Now Morning Show.